Hello and welcome to review of set 40586 Moving Truck. If you're new, please make sure to subscribe. This was a promo in 2023 March for, I think you need to spend about £180 or £200 in order to get this. It contains 301 pieces and it does go very nicely with any street scene. So on the front of the box you have the LEGO logo, the LEGO Icons logo, along with a beautiful render of the set. Now let's have a look at the back. So on the back of the box you can see another render of the set and all the different items are in the moving truck, which is a really cool little detail. So it looks like to get in this set it is going to be tape tabs, which does help preserve the box if you do like to keep them. And the general box art on this is beautiful with this greebling along the bottom and just the pure black with the glow with the icons. That is just really quite good. So inside the box you have 4 bags numbered 1 to 2. So there you go with that. And you've also got this base plate type piece on the bottom, which is too big to fit in a bag. You have your instruction manual, and in my case I have a crumpled sticker sheet. I've been getting pretty unlucky with these recently, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference if you get it to stick down properly. So the instruction manual is in the lovely new white sleek design, and you have the progress bar going along the bottom, which is very common nowadays. So I'm going to get this built up and I'll catch you in a second. Okay, so the set is now all built, so let's have a look at the minifigures. So they're not actually given names in the set, so I'm just going to go Worker 1, Worker 2. So it's pretty decent torso print, there's no printing on the legs, and a little bit of back printing as well. Moving on to the head, you have some face printing, and you do have a reverse face printing as well, so a bit of a worried expression in case they break something, and you have the typical Ginger ponytail piece as well, so overall a pretty decent minifigure. Next is Worker 2, so once again no printing on the legs, and some pretty basic printing on the torso on the front and just a little bit on the back, and you do get a broom to obviously clean up any breakages. Moving on to the face, you have a pretty decent face print. I haven't actually seen this one that often, so you've got the bit of stubble around the sides which does show the beard, and then you do have the reversed face print, which is more of a concentration look, so, or a struggling look, so if it's something heavy, and you get a pretty good dark brown hairpiece as well. So moving on to the general build of the truck, let's start off with the front, and it's pretty bland, not really too much detail going on here, except from the way they managed to do the engine grill area is pretty quite good. There's nothing on the bumper at the front, unfortunately, so there's no lights on the actual bumper, but there is 2 headlights there, but there's no number plate, unfortunately, so that would have been a nice little bit of detail, but I know it's not actually required in America. However, in the UK it is, so it's just something I'm used to. Moving back a bit, you have the way they've managed to do the arches, so you've got the typical arch piece, but they've also gone over with the slope pieces, which is really quite good, and that is the same on each side. Moving on to the cab, or the cockpit if you want to call it, you have the doors which do actually open. They do have a lovely little sticker on there, which is the same on each side, and there is only 1 seat inside along with a steering wheel, and you can take off the roof for easy access like so. Moving on to the back of the build, it's very boxy, but that's obviously how it's meant to be. You have stickers on either side to show the moving company, which is storage and transfer, along with the little Lego box package, which is a really nice little detail. You have on the back, you have actually the set number, I believe, along with the lights, brake lights and reversing lights, so really quite good, and you have the doors to open up, and then it's the same on the other side. So now let's have a look at what I think is the coolest part to this inside the actual truck. So if you open up the 2 doors, you can see all the different items inside, and it's really quite cool how they managed to actually fit everything in. I'll just show you from the aerial view. So you can see from the top everything is quite compact inside, and if I just move the saxophone, you can see everything in there. Everything's got a place, and it does tell you how it was meant to go in the instructions. So the items inside, you get a piano, you get a desk with the drawer open, and the way they managed to do that is really quite cool. You get a jukebox and either a saxophone or a picture of a saxophone, which is really quite good, along with the moving trolley, along with this little parcel which does say to Jazz Club, so I think that does mean it is going to the Lego Icons Jazz Club set, and inside the parcel is a donut, which is just a nice little thing to actually show there's something inside that. So the piano is a pretty basic build, not really too much, the sort of thing you'd find in a Lego City advent calendar, but the way they managed to get some curves in there is really quite good. Moving on to the drawer, the way they managed to demonstrate the drawer being open is just using a window panel with just a opaque window tan piece, which is really quite cool, and it does show the other drawer, so it's really quite good technique there, and along with the lampshade is a really good technique as well. Moving on to the jukebox, another pretty basic build. The way they managed to get so much detail in with so little pieces is really quite cool. You got a few legs which you can see, which is just a nice little addition on the front, and the way they've used these scroll pieces to show the speakers is really quite good, along with this control piece which allows you to select your song. Moving on to the photo or the actual saxophone, I think it is going to be a picture just going to the jazz club. And it's really quite cool how they managed to do this. When I was building it like that, and I thought it was going to be like a miniature version of the Starry Night set, so I thought that would be a little cool Easter egg. But it is actually a saxophone, which is really quite good. Pretty bland back, but it's a pretty good photo nonetheless. And the final thing inside the truck is obviously the moving, I don't know what it's actually called. It's like the moving trolley. So you can actually have all the different items on there, not at once, but everything will fit on in its own way as they've given them a smooth back, which is just quite a cool little detail. So inside the back, after you take everything out, if you open up the doors, you see this little tan piece down here, which does actually, if I can just grab it, comes out, and then you get the loading ramp. So that will just go on like so. It's nothing really to connect onto. It does just use the bit of friction on this tile here. So on the instruction it shows it goes there. So it doesn't go all the way up, but it's just a nice little detail, and it does store very nicely in the set. So overall for Freebie, this set is really quite good. I think in the last few years, LEGO have really stepped up their game with the freebies, because you get a lot of pieces. It's really quite cool. It obviously goes with the jazz club or just your general street scene, so it's really quite good there. The only criticism I do have for this set is it's only got one seat and you get 2 workers, so I'm not actually sure if one of them is meant to be like the owner of the building they're moving into. However, you do only get 1 seat. Unfortunately, 2 seats would make it slightly better, but that is the only thing there. So that's going to be it for this video. If you're new, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.